That seemed like a game that was closer than the final score indicated. Feel like one of those games to you?
Yeah. I think we played a pretty good hockey game. They played very strong defensively. They needed it. We knew what happened to them in Buffalo. We knew they were going to come back with a big push. And I think at the end of the day, they scored on their chances, and we didn't, but we certainly had them.
And it seemed, in particular, 5-on-5, it was really even. I just when you had to be killing penalties that it got a little out of whack.
Yeah. It's just, that's hockey. That is what it is. We've been playing well of late and not getting results, but we do feel good about our game. There's a lot of good stuff coming out of it. And, from where we were a few months ago to where we are now, we feel, pretty happy with that.
Such an odd occurrence with Sean. What kind of impact did that have on you guys after that?
Yeah, that's freaky. You have no idea what's going on, but when somebody waves that towel, you hope they get to him quick. And from what we gathered, he was, everything was fine, and that certainly was, a kettle that needed to be opened in the room here. So once that happened, we reset and came out for the second.
You were told during the first intermission that he was going to be okay.
Yeah. We had a few guys walking around. The first little bit was pretty tense, but once we got that word, you reset and you go out and you play.
Is it harder to build momentum after something like that happens?
No, you find out he's okay. He's okay. There's nothing we can do at the end of the day. He's with the people that can help him best, and I think as hockey players, you're told to go back out on the ice. The first thing that comes to your mind is let's go win it for this guy kind of idea. So, if anything, it probably heightens your focus in that way.
What goes through your mind when you're seeing your teammates waving like that on the bench, throwing the towel?
Yeah, you get freaked out real quick. That's it. And, you just hope it's not bad. And, yeah, that's second time I've been a part of that, something like that. So I'm really, really happy he's okay, and they got word to us that he's fine, and I'm excited to go check up on him myself.
Justin, as we talked about in the intermission, it seemed like that hockey game was more even than the final score indicated. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it was just a game of capitalization. They capitalized more on their chances than we did.
And again, when you're killing penalties, it's hard to get rhythm going, right? And there were some of those that could have gone either way, I guess, and kind of took away your momentum a little bit.
Yeah, I think. Sometimes the kill's tough. The power play is tough too. If you don't create momentum, but. I thought we did well. We worked hard. They're a top unit in the league, and they got a lot of weapons, so it's tough to cover all of them at the same time.
That's a team that you knew would have a push, given what happened in their last game. How much of a factor was that in terms of the push that they came in right from the jump?
Yeah, they played like a different team tonight than they did when we were in Toronto. You could tell, just like any team would, if you get blown out 9-4 or whatever it was, you're going to get couple meetings and you're going to come out flying. So, and I think they did, and I think we managed it well. I think we played a hard game. We didn't back down. We lost a key guy in our roster, so guys stepped up.
Yeah, and on that, what kind of impact did that have on you guys?
Yeah, it was a bit. He's a huge part of our team. PK, he's an energy guy. He's talking on the bench. So when you lose a piece like that, it's hard to fill. But I think we did a good job managing it, and just glad he's okay.
Yeah, and he is okay, and that's the good news. But initially, it had to be kind of a shock to the system to go forward, right? Because you didn't really know what the situation was.
Yeah, definitely. It's a scary sport we play sometimes, and when stuff like that happens, you just kind of remember it's a game, and you could see both teams were worried and just want to make sure everything was fine. But he's good, so that's all that matters.
Were you on the bench for that?
Yeah.
Were you one of the guys screaming?
I wasn't screaming though. Sorry, I didn't see what. I really didn't see what happened. I thought he got hit high, and then they were worried about here, so I didn't really know.
Talk about how competitive you guys were tonight, 5-on-5.
Yeah, every single game you want to win. They're an extremely skilled team over there. They work hard. They're structured. So 5-on-5, penalty kill, power play. It doesn't really matter. I know we're a hard-working team, and we're doing everything we can in every situation. It just didn't fall for us tonight.
Justin said he felt like that was a different team tonight than the one you saw in Toronto, maybe because of what happened to them in Buffalo. Did you get that sense?
Yeah, anytime you throw up 5 on a team at the beginning, they're going to come back hot regardless, and then especially with what happened in Buffalo, they're a team that's competitive. I know that. I know a few guys over there that are extremely competitive, so they're going to come out hot, and they did. They capitalized on their chances. We didn't, so there's not much you can do.
Adam, I got the sense on the 2 penalties called on you in the second period, there was some frustration there by you. Did you took issue with the first call diving, I assume?
Yeah, I mean, I not diving. I got hooked and then high sticked and went down. So my bad, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Second one, I'm just working for the puck. I mean, other player throws up his hand, then the ref throws up his hand. So I don't. That's why there was a little bit of frustration there. I don't think that was his call. It's not in my control though. I mean, first one I can promise you I wasn't diving. That's not the way I want to play. So.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't really speak too much to how the reffing was.
Do you just accept or assume that it's a process every young player goes through, that you don't get the calls maybe until later in your career? Or
I mean,
in the
like,
short term?
going through where I've played, I mean, in juniors and college, I mean, you never really get the calls. There's things that refs miss. There's things the refs call that you disagree with. So I haven't really experienced any favoritism that way. Yeah, I don't really know what to expect. But as a young player, you kind of just got to keep your head down and keep your cool.
Yeah, that's got to be tough sitting in the box for the 4-on-4 and the power play goal.
Yeah, obviously I want to be out there in the 4-on-4 and try and do something, but the fact that turned into that situation is not something I wanted. And then watching the power play goal, I was obviously extremely frustrated about that.
What was your reaction when Sean went down?
I saw him get hit on the far side, and he was my change, so I was watching him come off, and he was coming slow, and he was hunched over, and I jumped on the ice, and then whistle blew, and a lot of commotion went over on the bench, and I saw a towel come on the ice, so things were getting a little scary there. I haven't seen him, I haven't talked to him. Everybody said he's okay though, so thank God we're praying for him. So we're really happy he's doing okay. It's scary. You never want to see that happen, so I'm really happy he's doing all right.
Had you ever been part of something like that in your hockey career?
Not that I can remember. No. I've seen it happen to other teams before, and it's extremely scary. So you never wish that on anybody, right? Everybody's here to play the game, right? We all want to have fun, so you never really want to see that.
How big of a relief was it to get word in the first intermission that he was okay?
Yeah, huge relief. Obviously, when we came back in here, we all had a lot of question marks, and Coach came in before to talk to us, and he told us first things first, he's all right, so we can get that out of our heads. So that was really good.
Pazzi, first and foremost, what can you tell us about Sean Corrali's situation?
No update. I have no updates. I don't know. I was told that it should be fine, but they're checking. They're making sure everything is okay.
Certainly had to be a frightening moment on the bench. How
Yeah.
you feel your team
Well,
reacted and
yeah.
responded once they found out he was okay?
Yeah, no, it was a scary moment, because you don't know what happened. Well, you know what happened, the hit, and he came back to the bench, and then what happened in the hallway, I don't know. I just saw the trainers and the medical staff. It was urgent, and so yeah, it wasn't. It's not fun. You don't want to see that.
How big of a relief was it to get word pretty quickly? I think that he was going to be okay. And
Yeah. So when we came back, Mike Volt told me should be fine, but they're making sure that everything's fine.
And did you have to say anything to the team at that point?
Yes,
Okay.
of course. They want to know. Like, he's their teammate, and we have a tight group, and Sean is a big piece of our leadership group. And so I gave them the report that I had, but it wasn't much. I just told them he should be fine.
I know he took a hit right before that happened. Do you have any idea what happened to cause the injury?
It seems like a stick hit here, and so they're checking if there's any bleeding or anything like that. Because it was also his head got hit, so it was a combination of the upper body.
A couple of tough calls on Fantilli in the second period. How much does a young player have to get through, or do they have to in the early stages of their career getting calls like that before they develop a reputation?
Yeah. That's a fair question. I remember Sidney Crosby, his first few years in the NHL, and he's going to earn the respect. But I don't see it that way. I don't agree with the calls, and that's okay. Like we don't have to agree. The referees have to make those calls on the spot. But I don't know to what point it's related to a first-year player. I guess there's some guys that have earned the benefit of the doubt, maybe. But I want to believe that the referees don't take that as their primary look when they see a play.
To kind of build off that with Fantilli and Dmitry Voronkov having to go up against Tavares and Austin Matthews, obviously a big opportunity. How do you feel like they handled a tough situation?
Well, you know what? So every game we take the scoring chances, and our video guys are taking them live, and it's always a little bit more or less, but usually they're pretty accurate. And we have 20 chances for 17 against. We missed it 21 times. We missed the net, and that what to me was a big piece. Like, so Austin Matthews scores 2 goals. Elite player. Nylander, he's coming 2-on-1. It's on our power play, but that shot is perfect. Elite player. And Tavares, elite player, score a goal. So those guys are elite players and can make plays when it matters. But we have Voronkov, first-year player, and Fantilli, first-year player, going against those 2 lines. I thought overall they did a good job. I think we could have managed the puck better. The first goal against, it's on us. But overall, they did a good job. I think, so what do we monitor? A few things. The effort is number 1. I think the effort was there. So, and we go from there. We're learning, we're growing. So that's where we are.
Every game you tell us that there's a growth and there's an evolution. From your perspective, what did tonight show you?
So we're playing against a team that lost, that gave up 9 goals the last time. We're playing against a team that we scored 5 against them in their building. So they're coming there. That's a team that is expecting to make the playoffs and expecting to compete for the Stanley Cup. And they're coming here a little bit pissed off. So our start had to be right, and we talked about our starts, so we're getting better and better. I think what we've learned today is managing the puck against a very talented hockey team. Once we started to play north, we were a much better team. But trial and error, I think they needed to see, okay, against those guys, even though you tell them, I think they need to feel it, they need to see it, and learning how to play different games. So just going back, Buffalo, a little bit more open. We score 9. We can score goals, so we know it. Then we play Washington, very tight, more a playoff style of hockey. We were able to adapt. We played a very good game, probably our best game of the year so far. And then we come here. Game is 2-1. Danforth scored a goal. Next shift, he's got a breakaway again, misses the net. We've seen Chinnikov hitting the post on the power play. That might be a difference maker. We have Provorov missing the net on an entry, great play in the offensive zone. So we have our times. It's just to make sure that we manage. I feel like tonight we've learned, what we're going to learn from that game is how we're going to manage the puck against a team like Toronto.
Real quick, the numbers you cited, 20 and 17 chances for and against, is that all situations or is that just 5-on-5?
All situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.